Okay, starting a new clip for continuity purposes, and we go down here now. You can see it will turn right very suddenly. I mean, you could just nip down there, couldn't you, really, if you want to, but I thought I'd give you the full smeg. So it's probably the first time you haven't actually seen the other footage, you see, from when Donnie and I, or when I went with my son down here when he was young. Like he must have been, what, 5, 6 or 7 or something like that. Yeah, so it was one of these like sunny days, and there was a few things out. So I think we went in August, so you know, it was like, as I said, that's what you got to think. You've got to think that it's like an extended European spring. In other words, maximum sunlight, high humidity, because 85%, but a cool temperature. As I said, it feels to me about 19 degrees. So this is in March. It's unusual. It should be stinking hot, and as we get into April, some years, we can get overcast days, which really going really dark grey, almost black. I remember when my Swedish friends came over, they came at the wrong time of the year. They came in middle to late April sort of thing, and then we had these overcast. We had about 3 or 4 of these overcast days while they were here, and it was threatening to rain. The humidity was probably higher than 81%, and they wanted us to take them round to all the sites of Adelaide, and they just didn't understand. It was not a good time to do that, and it was horrible. It wasn't. It was horrible yuck from the climate point of view. Trying to go to all these sites when the humidity is like nearly 100%. It's threatening to rain, but it never does, sort of thing. So So I'm going to tell the story in my thesis, I think, and there's the other thing was, which I don't think we've ever told them, is we'd had a recent renovation at my parents' place, because this was at my parents' place. We'd had a recent renovation at my parents' place, and the renovators had put the hot and the cold tap symbols round the wrong way in the new bathroom. So the hot tap was actually the cold tap, and the cold tap was actually the hot tap. And what with their Swedish and our English, we never really got around to telling them. We thought, well, it's just going to be too hard to tell them, translate sort of thing, and try and tell them this thing. So we thought we'd just let them work it out for themselves. But if you've ever come across a situation like that, like you turn the hot tap on and it starts cold, so you think, oh yeah, it's a hot tap, it's going to take time to warm up. Of course it never does, because it's actually the cold tap. And you're thinking, So you turn the other tap on, which says cold, and of course it comes out colder because usually hot taps start off cold, but then it goes hot, and because then it goes really hot. But of course, if you've got both taps on at the same time, so you're getting cold water coming from the actual hot tap mixing with the warm water that's actually coming from the cold. Now it's so much confusion must have been caused by that, and it was just like too hard to tell. Too hard to, you know what I mean? It was just too hard. So we never ended up telling them. I don't know what they thought of it. They probably thought the house had terrible plumbing or something. It didn't. It was a brand new bathroom. It's just the people they put the symbols in for the bloody taps, got the symbols down the wrong way. So I'm actually going to put a chapter in my thesis, and the other thing was, his name was Anders.